cheating wife is in panic because she thought I'll just leave her with AP, but instead I laid a crazy trap right before divorce. When I got divorced, my alcoholic wife of 18 years had started another affair, this time with her obsessions counselor, my lawyer, and I laid a trap for them. Just in case you don't know, intimate relations between a counselor and patient are very frowned upon by the regulatory bodies. And I was more than pissed after putting her through rehab, $25,000, which I didn't have to do, only to have her fall back into her old behavior. Shortly before the divorce was finalized, I filed a complaint with the state body licensing health professions. Knowing they were in some peril because of their unprofessional relationship, I had already gotten him fired from a major teaching hospital. She had backed off her exorbitant demands. I paid her a very modest settlement, kept the house, got custody of the 3 teenage kids, plus got child support. Her lawyer naturally included a clause in the divorce where I had to agree to not say anything negative about her lover and their relationship. But the lawyer ducked up and never asked if I had already filed charges and thus didn't require me to rescind them. Her lawyer had assumed I was just bad-mouthing them to neighbors and friends, and it never occurred to the lawyer that we were doing much more. When the Board of Health Professions responded to my complaint shortly after the divorce was finalized, I told them that it would take a subpoena to get me to testify. A subpoena trumps an agreement in a divorce settlement. They were happy to oblige. They stripped his license and placed him on a register of sanctioned health professionals. He never worked again. They were broken a handful of years and she divorced him when the money ran out. In the interim, his mother had passed away, leaving a fair-sized estate, so it took longer than I expected. Oh, and the frosting on the cake was that his wife and I traded notes, notably hotel receipts from the time of their affair, that helped each of us in our respective divorces. Justice was served. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment 1. I'm surprised your ex didn't turn around and sue Loverboy for malpractice. She could have made bank. OP reply. She was good at drinking and shopping. With both of those activities, she must have been trying to fill a huge emotional hole in herself. I doubt if when that marriage ended he had anything to sue for. Since his license had been yanked, I doubt it very much if he kept his malpractice insurance. Comment 2. Someone's probably going to argue semantics of the word trap, but here goes. It's where he'd already started the ball rolling on saying anything negative about her ex-wife and her lover, counselor, before he was expressly contracted not to by the ex-wife's lawyer. The prohibition only takes effect after signing, and there was no clause to say he also must withdraw any negative things said/reported prior to the divorce papers. OP simply let things take its course and waited for the board to eventually get to his case. Comment 3. To be honest, it mainly sounds like you helped your ex ruin another man's life. OP reply. Can't claim credit for that. She saw him as her next meal ticket and rode it as far as she could. When the money was gone, so was she. My own view is that she spun him a story of the divorce settlement she would come away with to help seal the deal. I had a better lawyer than she did, even though he was less expensive than hers. I'm polite to her for the benefit of the kids, but that's about it. My life became hell when my girlfriend moved in and I found out she's just a. My girlfriend and I were dating for about a year before we moved in together. During this time, everything was great. I felt like she pushed me to broaden my horizons. We shared a few common interests and were amenable to experiencing our partner's unique interests and hobbies. We're both independently successful by our own right. I think that last bit, the part where she's an independent woman who doesn't need no man, is the quality I find most attractive in a life partner. We were spending more and more time together, and about 9 months ago we decided to move in together. Over the course of these 9 months she's developed some behaviors that I'm just not feeling great about. She's become more needy. When I'm home from work, all she wants to do is be in the same room as me. She wants my input on everything: financial, family/social conflicts, COVID-19, what to eat for dinner. And it's so exhausting after a long day of work. I've mentioned this to her, and all she can say is that she just wants to spend all her time with me after we've been separated at work. She's become so lazy, especially with housework. I typically mop the floors, scrub the bathtub and toilet, cook dinner, and do laundry. Most nights I also do the dishes and destroy off the ants that we're currently dealing with. There is a huge pile of her stuff on our bedroom floor that I don't know how to put away since it's not my stuff. She admits that she does an embarrassing small amount of the housework and says she'll try to do more. All this is resulting in some noticeable negative financial and health effects. My sleep is worse off with her in the bed all the time. We've both gained some weight. Perhaps this is because of the pandemic and not just because we've moved in together. I find myself more tired since I'm doing chores and cooking when I get back from work rather than resting. My monthly spending has increased as well, since she likes to watch TV all day and eat out more often than I'd like. During my super long hard days, I'm not able to relax and just veg out by playing video games or closing my eyes a bit, because she wants me to do something else with her. I find that I look forward to the nights that she's out with friends and I'm home alone so I can rest. At least until she comes home drunk at like 1 a.m. and then wakes me up to give her a hug and a kiss before she drunkenly passes out. Like I was saying, my sleep has seriously suffered lately. Anyway, I was wondering if this is normal. Is it normal to be less attracted, maybe even disgusted by her new behaviors? Is it normal to feel like my life overall is worse than it was before? And I hope it doesn't get to this point, but if we conclude that we can't tolerate this relationship anymore, how do you break off a relationship with someone who has already moved in and doesn't have a place of her own? Girlfriend sends this to AP 3 years into our relationship, so I'm just quitting. Me and my girlfriend have been together for close to 5 years now, and only recently I found out that she had feelings for another dude and wanted to leave me for him back in 2019. Basically, she decided to give me her Instagram password because she said she blindly trusts me with everything and has nothing to hide. She asked me to do a couple things in her account as she was a bit busy with schoolwork, and I was free because of winter vacations. As I was doing what she had asked me to do, I was curious to see what her ex-best friend thought about me as a person. For context, they have not been in talking terms for about 5 months now. I was aware that her best friend did not like me, but I was still curious. Knowing that my girlfriend said she had nothing to hide, I decided to read some of their DMs. Well, one thing led to another, and I found myself in quite a rabbit hole where I found them making weird comments about my sister, and even her ex-boyfriend, which was quite shocking for me to see. But worse than anything, I found screenshots of her conversation with a dude, let's call him A. Some backstory, my girlfriend is like the popular beautiful girl who had like 10 boys trying to get with her. I was one of those, but when we did get together, I knew for a fact that she would never betray me. So, even in the last 5 years she had loads of dudes ask her out, but she always ended up turning them down, as she should. I was one of those people, and I thought I was one of those people who got turned down. So what I see in the screenshots isn't something out of the blue, it was the typical, the guy confessing, and she at the end turning him down. But there's a couple things about this which really break my heart. Along with the screenshots, my GF obviously shared how that conversation with A made her feel to her best friend, and those remarks looked something like this. He is like the perfect guy for me. He has all the things I have ever wanted in a man. It's cruel that I'm stuck with him, me, and can't be with a. He is just boring, all he does is ask how was my day, talking about me. Along with all this, she even texted this, I love you. I don't think I have felt this way even for me. It's stuff like this that makes me feel so terrible. I know she ended up turning him down, but it's the fact that she had such deep feelings for another dude while she was with me, and did not even bother telling me. This happened in 2019, and I feel so betrayed about the fact that this is how I found out, and that too in 2022. It felt so bad. Not only that, she still to this day has a picture with the dude up on her profile. I was insecure about that picture when she posted it, but now it just feels so much worse, now that I know so much more. Should I not feel this way, given that she technically didn't cheat on me? Would you trust your partner if they did something like this to you? I really need some advice on what I should do because I feel completely betrayed. Thank you so much if you actually read through this, genuinely looking for some advice here.